once you start seeing those little changes, like how I did with Corey, I wanted more. I was like, oh man, I see, after a couple of weeks, I was like, oh, I see a little bit of physique improvement. I was like, okay, so I want more. I'm gonna keep going.
What's up, y'all? This is Coach Corey, and I'm here with Manny. So Manny, why don't you tell them who you are and just a little bit about yourself?
Hey y'all, I'm Manny. I'm 23, graduated UT a couple of years ago, and ever since I was young, I always had a problem with weight. I was always kind of a chubby kid, and I had always been working out. I had always thought like, oh, just going to the gym 5 days a week, just putting in all the effort in the gym is gonna be, it's gonna translate to a great body. But flash forward, I was enrolling for about a year and a half, eating as much as I thought I needed, getting as much protein in as I thought I could, and I was not seeing anything. There was just no results. I was just skinny. I wasn't getting any kind of growth in the areas I wanted, like my chest. It was just, there was no definition. It was just a lot of frustration with not getting any results with the nutrition. I knew that I was working out as much as I could. I was working out 5 times a week. Everything was there, but there was just no progress. And at some point I was just like, there has to be something that I'm doing well with my nutrition, because I had always read about calories and macros. That's when I started with Corey. And ever since then, it's been amazing experience with him.
So Manny, before we met, you were working so hard in the gym 7 days a week. You were trying to eat healthy every single day, working so hard, but you weren't seeing results. You were frustrated. So what was that breaking point for you? When did you know it was time to reach out for outside help?
I think the breaking point for me was when I realized that I thought I had tried every single direction in order to get the progress that I wanted. So I wanted to get a little bit bigger. I wanted to be a little bit leaner. I had tried running all the time, doing a bunch of cardio. I would do 3 miles a day, and that just got me super skinny, and that just didn't get me what I wanted. I tried doing rowing with eating a lot of food, hitting the gym, and I was like, okay, if I do cardio all this time, I'll be lean. If I eat all that food, and I do a couple of weights at the gym, I'll get that mass that I want. But it just didn't work out, and I realized that I was attacking the problem just always with weights and always at the gym, and I was like, okay, well, something that I haven't tried was nutrition. And I think after rowing, I was just like, I had just been eating so much, and I hadn't seen any kind of real difference, and I was like, okay, I gotta try something else. I gotta go with somebody that knows the balance between the weights and the food. It's gonna be an effort, and I know it's a risk, but it's something that I know I need to do. I need to get some kind of like outside expertise, because obviously what I'm doing is just not working, you know? And at that point, and I haven't looked back from it yet. It was amazing, yeah.
So I remember when we first started, you were eating probably like 1,000 calories a day, because you were eating so clean. Like you're eating just the cleanest of all things. It was probably like 1,000 calories a day. So my question is, what was it like when I came to you and I was like, okay, I know you want to lose weight and get ripped. I want to have you actually eat more calories. What was that?
Well, that was always, I was so worried, because I was like, oh, there's no way you can eat so much. There's like, it's not possible. I have to feel like that kind of shredded. I have to feel kind of empty at or like a little bit, you know?
Like you have to be hungry all the time.
Yeah, there's no way. I've always seen people eat a bunch of food, but like it's always so calculated, and it's like, okay, well, there has to be a limit at some point. And so when I started working with you and you started giving me all these plans, I was like, all right, I can eat so much. And then you started increasing, I'm like, all right. I was like, all right, this is getting kind of harder to eat all this. And at some point I was like, oh my God, okay, I have to eat more food. And it wasn't even that I had to eat so much food. It was like, oh, I can eat food that I like.
That you actually enjoy.
Yeah, like I enjoy all of this. It's like, oh wow, it's not 3,000 calories of just vegetables and anything that I want. It's like, I can hit these macros in whatever way I want.
Right.
So it was great flexibility for me.
I want to ask too, because I remember around that time, so you were starting to eat these like really good meals. You cook way better than I do. And I remember you were on Twitter, you'd be posting images of like your food. And I remember people started to like tweet you and DM you questions about like their fitness. So like, I want to dive into that. Like, what did it feel like for you when your friends and people on Twitter started asking you for advice?
That was a great feeling, because at that point, you know that people see you and they're seeing the results. and they're seeing that you know something about fitness and that you're seeing progress within yourself. So if you're influencing somebody else, that's for me, it's a great feeling because I know that I'm doing something well, and I without a doubt want to help somebody else because I know where I was stuck. So it was without a doubt a feeling of it was just, I was happy, but it was also of achievement because I was like, oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm actually seeing progress. Other people are seeing it too.
Right.
And it just kind of feeds into itself. It's a cycle, and it's a great feeling because whenever people ask me, I can help them, and then that just improves their life, and then
absolutely
they can help somebody else.
So why don't we dive into a bit of the communication side in terms of like how we communicated, how we worked together. What did that whole process look like from your perspective?
I remember that I think that was the thing I was most impressed with, was the thing that you were with me especially, that you were just always checking in on me, like, hey, how are you doing? How was your workout? Did you feel every single week you would have that call.
Yep.
We'd be like, hey, how do you feel? Did you get everything in?
Right.
You would send me like little articles like, hey, this is, I know you were having trouble with this. Look at this video, all this stuff. And I was like, even when I was in my class, I would just get the video and I'm like, oh, that's like, I'm not even working out right now.
Yep.
But I would just look at it and I would just kind of like, I would see all those videos and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna focus on that next time.
Right.
Even if I'm not looking at it while I'm working out, I'm just in my head. I had already seen it. I know, okay, this is how he wants me to focus on.
Right.
And so it would always just be a constant stream of information that I could always apply to my next workout. And that was the best thing, especially with the open communication and text. I could like, if I ever was stuck at the gym, I could always text you and be like, hey, is this right? And even now, I feel like I can just send you a video of my workouts, and then you even commented on my Instagram. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so it's great knowing that as a client, I learned so much from you that you can see that result even after we've ended, and like you can just see that that all that stuff has been applied. And so it makes me feel great because it's like, oh, I learned from you, and it's been a good experience.
So I want to also like dive into that piece too. So one of the reasons that we brought Manny in is because we worked together over a year ago. And so what I noticed from Manny was that I was watching his social medias and I was like, dude, this guy is still killing the fitness game. So why don't you talk a little bit about, so we worked together for a little bit of time, and then between now and a year ago, what has that journey been like?
So I think the best thing about learning how to do efficient or the right workouts the right way, and learning how to eat well, is that at a certain point you kind of just know it naturally. You kind of know how long your workouts take. You learn how long that your meal preps take for the kind of foods you like. And once you start learning that, it's like, oh, I can, like, my days are short, or I have more time in my day now because I know my workout takes 45 minutes. I can do it before work, get it done out of the way, and that's it. Like, you can start planning ahead with your week, and that just kind of makes the whole day way more efficient. You can get so much more done, and especially with macros. Now at the store, you don't really need to kind of look at the calories. You're just like, oh, okay, I'm thinking protein. Let me go with chicken. Let me go with something that, or if I'm looking for carbs, a lot of vegetables. You just kind of know how to guide yourself, and it's just so much easier now. I don't take as much time at the grocery store.
Nice. Yep.
It's everything, and it's been so interesting learning that just improving my fitness and my knowledge of nutrition has made my other lives like so much more efficient. Right? I can make my day more open to anything else, just knowing that I can fit in my workout at a certain time, eat all the calories I need at a certain time, and yeah, it's been amazing.
So on that same topic, you talked about how fitness impacts the rest of your life. So why don't you tell us a bit about how life is now? I know you've got a girlfriend now, you've got this full-time job now, you're not a college kid anymore. So how does fitness and what you've learned, how does that fit into your relationship, your career, so on and so forth, and just your happiness?
A lot of confidence. It's great, honestly. But fitness has really kind of just affects every part of your life. When you're confident within yourself, and when you're happy with what you see in the mirror, and just when you're healthy, when you're feeling good in the morning, all of that just translates into everything else. You know, like you have more energy for work. With people, you're a little more talkative. You're not as anxious. I don't feel.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Love that.
it's interesting and it's amazing seeing how much my life has changed just doing or changing a couple things, you know, every single day. Macros, workouts, trying to work out in the morning. And it just started from a little bit of discipline at the beginning. But after that, it just rolls into a lot more, a lot bigger things, and it's a big change, just starting from something little.
I love it. So one final question. If you were to say anything for the folks out there who they've never had a personal trainer, they've never had an online coach, they know they need help, but they're sitting there like they're terrified. I don't even know what this is. I don't know if this is for me, so on and so forth. If you could speak to that person and just say, you know, like, look, you were in that position where you had never had a personal trainer, what would you say to that person?
Once you start seeing those little changes, like how I did with Corey, I wanted more. I was like, oh man, after a couple of weeks, I was like, oh, I see a little bit of physique improvement. I was like, okay, so I want more. I'm going to keep going. And of course, everybody's afraid that, oh, they're not going to see results. But if you never try, you're definitely not going to see results. And I never thought that it would be all based just on just little things that I can change in my life, like eating better translated to so much more later on with just time management and everything else. With working out, it translated to a better physique, more confidence. And it was all it all could be traced back to just making that small little effort of getting the personal trainer. For everybody, it's different. But for me, I just didn't know I knew there was no change. I hadn't seen any kind of difference with my eating. And I was like, you know what? I know that if I go with Corey, he knows what he's talking about with nutrition. I gotta make this one change. And I knew that would change was what I needed to improve my life, to start making those little changes to see that change in the future. And I took it and I don't regret it. And it's been great ever since.
So just want to say thanks again, Manny, for coming in to do the testimonial. Just to reiterate, my favorite thing about Manny is for the past year, we haven't been working together, but you took all the stuff that we learned together and you've now been on your own applying them for the past year. And it makes me super, super happy because I don't want to see somebody just get results for 12 weeks. I want to know, hey, we're going to work together. And then once we split, this person's good for the next 30, 40 years.
And that's one of the best things I think about was working with you, was that you don't make the client dependent on you. You make the client be able to sustain themselves with all the knowledge and workouts if they ever split off by themselves. Because now I can do everything myself. And I do see the changes that even I saw with your workouts, and I know that if I ever need any kind of help, that you're just a text away.
I'm always
it's amazing.
Here. Yep. And again, that's my favorite thing is I want you to feel like, hey, once we split, I can own my own journey forever.
Which is amazing. Thank you so much, Corey.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Thanks for your time.
Of course.